Hey Soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're taking a look at your biggest blessing that is coming soon. What surprise does the universe have for you? Can't wait to get into today's reading. I love these types of readings, picking up on the energies of what's coming, the blessings and the surprises. If you, by the way, prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, you will find a timestamp for that down in the description box. If you prefer for Spirit to pick your pile today, you will also find a timestamp for that down in the description box. Otherwise, we'll be looking at your cards and your crystals in a moment. Okay, so let's see what we've got. For pile number 1, you've got the card Shaker. For pile number 2, you've got the card Storyteller. And for pile number 3, you've got the card Star Nations. As always, if you prefer to pick your piles using your crystals, then let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, you've got the Ocean Calcite. For pile number 2, you've got the Malakite. And for pile number 3, you've got the Lapis Lazuli. So, yeah, take a look at which one of these 3 piles you're the most drawn to, and this will be the pile for you here today. In case you feel drawn to more than one pile, maybe even all of the piles, trust your intuition. It's meant to take you to the messages you're meant to hear today. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And please note that in a moment, I will be assigning different zodiac signs to each pile. If this is something that you do not prefer, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. But if you prefer to pick your piles using your zodiac signs, then my dear soul family, welcome. This part of the introduction has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. After the shuffling, I will be drawing out 4 signs for each pile. Okay, so let's get straight into it. I think we need one more here. There we go. 4 signs for pile number 2. And of course, 4 signs for pile number 3. Right, so let's see what we've got. For pile number 1, the signs are Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn, as well as Leo. The signs for pile number 2 are Pisces, Libra, Cancer, as well as Virgo. The signs for pile number 3 are Aquarius, Scorpio, Aries, as well as Sagittarius. So, my dear soul family, these are the zodiac signs and their association to each of the piles in today's reading. Please feel free to pick your pile or piles using your sun, moon, or rising. I highly recommend you check out the 3, of course. Alternatively, if you prefer to pick your piles using any other placements in your chart, feel free to do that. Your way of picking the piles are the correct way for you at the moment. And once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box, which will take you straight to your readings. And note that the next section of the introduction is all about Spirit picking your pile. If you're interested in trying that out today, please stick around. If you're not interested, however, please pause the video and take as much time as you need. But if you prefer for Spirit to pick your pile, welcome. This section has been created specifically for you so that you can do just that. And as you know, I will be assigning a different tarot card, my apologies, to each pile as we do every day. The Magician will be presenting pile number 1, the High Priestess pile number 2, and the Empress pile number 3. I would like to tell you, by the way, guys, if you pick your piles somehow using synchronicities in numbers, I see 2 and 2 here. So maybe you want to pick pile number 2, and another synchronicity that I see is 1 plus 9 is 10, which goes down to 1. So we have 1 and 1 as pile number 1. That's a third synchronicity. 1, 1, and it's pile number 1. 2, 2, and it's pile number 2. If you want to go with these two, that's just an observation. Sorry for the interruption. Back to Spirit picking your piles for you. So as you know, each one represents a pile. I will be shuffling them around until one of the cards attracts my attention, and I will know that this is your chosen pile by Spirit for today's reading. I was supposed to catch that one. So your chosen pile is pile number 1. Right, so my dear soul family, we've got a lot of ones. It was already 1, 1, 1. It's the chosen pile, another one. So 11, 11. I have a strong feeling about the first pile. These were the different ways in which you can pick your piles today. I truly hope you've enjoyed them and that they helped you find the clarity to find your pile. And as you know, once you're ready, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times, and my dear soul family, I will see you in your readings. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at your biggest blessing that is coming soon. And by the way, when I'm saying biggest blessing, it's like from now onwards. Your biggest blessing could already be here in your life. Your health, your children, your mother, your father. All I'm trying to say is that when I'm saying your biggest blessing, I mean from now onwards to, from now on in your life onwards. It doesn't include what you already have. That's what I'm trying to say. So welcome to your reading. These are the decks that I'll be using. By the way, if you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. Very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful ocean calcite. Your significator card is the shaker card with the keyword truth. Yes, we already pulled. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Taurus, Gemini, Capricorn, as well as Leo. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it. We'll start off by taking a look at your oracle cards first. Let's begin with this one. So you've got trine with the keyword harmony. The keywords here as well, that's the main keyword, harmony. The other keywords are opportunities, luck, flow, beneficial, reward, synchronicity, good vibes, ease, positivity, supportive, expansive, overindulgent, and as well as complacent. All right, very good energy right off the bat. Let's, can I fit this card here? Most probably not. I might regret it later, so better not do that. Right, so you've got the air with the keywords unseen potential as well as hesitation. Okay. Right. You've got identification. The Enneagram identification, It's a defense mechanism. So the keywords of the identification card are resemblance, similarity, mimicry, comedy, seeming, chameleon. Right. You've got succession. Okay. Perhaps with succession and mimicry, similarity, these could be how similar you are to your ancestors. Perhaps you've inherited something that will start shaking things up in your world and the people of the world around you. Because look, the air, right? So with unseen potential, I have the strong feeling, succession, identification, that you have inherited something very unique, very special, very powerful from your ancestors. It's kind of like it's been passed down from one generation to the other, to the other. You're figuring it out. You're finding out about it. Maybe at some point, it's your family stopped being aware of it, and you're the first one to reconnect to that power. It could be like a power, a way of thought, a great talent that you have, something like that. And it seems like you have a specific type of talent or power that is much stronger than most people around you. And with shaker and the truth, it's going to be used to shake things up, to connect people with the truth again, find out about the truth. This is going to be a really cool reading for sure. All right. So you've got the sun. Yeah, something about awareness, enlightenment, growth, health, making people find the truth about something. I love this. Okay. Let's find out more. So this is a tarot card, but it popped up first. So I'm going to place it under the tarot card that we're going to be placing up here. I can totally do that. Let's just check. Yep, it's all in frame. We're good. Right, so that's the card that popped up first. And it is the Ace of Wands. Have fun, you're ready. You see? You're ready to use something now. It's crazy. And this is going to shake things up in your own life first. You're going to have a lot of fun with it, obviously. And it's going to be a great new beginning full of good luck. You've somehow managed to connect. And look at how these plants are similar. The air. It's like you found this connection, a branch. You've reconnected with a power somehow. I don't know how you did it. Probably the reading will let us know. Somehow reconnected back with that power. And it's going to change things up for sure. Okay, let's keep it this way. We'll keep this one here. And you've got King of Wands. Look, from the Ace to the Kings, to the King. It's like it's rebranching again. There is this, what's mine is also yours. Do you see? A message from your ancestors. What's mine is also yours. And you've reconnected to that power. Wow. Oh my God. Okay. The synchronicity here is really cool for sure. Again, the plants, the branching out, you reconnected with something here. To the mother. You know, I was just thinking about something crazy before your pile. I seriously zoned out and I started thinking of a crazy idea. I was thinking, well, what if the plant's real life is not up there, like what we see in the world, like the tree, the flower, like that's an important part of their life, of course, don't get me wrong. And that's just like a thought that I have. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But what if where they really live is underground, is in the under the soil? This is where they're connecting, right? Like this is where they communicate. One tree could be communicating to another tree from one end of the forest to the other. And we're like, oh, like at least a thought that I used to have when I was young, I was like, oh, I would have not really liked being a plant at all. I'm glad I'm not a plant, because they must have a boring life. Like they're just standing there all of their lives. I'm glad I'm not a plant. But what if, that's what I was thinking to myself, what if they don't have this boring life? What if this plant, which is of course an important part of their lives, that's not where they live their lives? What if the real life is down there, underground, what we're not seeing, and how they're connecting, and they're so interconnected that they have a rich, amazing life with each other. This is where they pass the nutrients to each other. This is where they're communicating. There's a whole life down there that we haven't really, let's say, focused on so much. We're so focused on what they can give us as plants. But what if there's so much down there that we're not aware of? And maybe they're living such a fulfilling, rich, beautiful life that we have no idea about. So how does that connect with your reading? I don't know, but seeing all the plants and the branches, it's crazy. Maybe this is symbolizing your ancestors, that they're well and alive and their force is still like strong, and you are somehow connecting to that strong energy. We'll find out why I've had this like weird daydreaming session before I began your pile with this idea, but I wanted to share because it is something that was like right before your pile. This is what I was daydreaming about right before we started. So it must somehow be connected to your reading. And let's take a look at the rest of your cards to get to the bottom of this, of what is your biggest blessing that is coming soon. What surprise does the universe have for you? So you've got the Lover's card, Master being comfortable with you. I'll read the quotes later on the cards, but let's just pull them out for now. So you've got the Lover's card. You've got the Two of Cups. You've got the Five of Swords, the Four of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and you've got the King of Swords. When I saw these two right now together, the first thought I'm thinking is that these are two powers from different elements, but they can still be together. They're not in the same element. This is the King of Swords, this is the Queen of Pentacles, but they're still together. There's something about, maybe you come from a different time than the time your ancestors were using this power. But this power will be used, it will still be powerful, will just behave differently in your own element. I'm starting to feel like your ancestors maybe even have come from, just be open-minded with me just a little bit, maybe from a different planet. Because what I'm imagining, like the light acts different when it passes through the air, for example, gas, and acts different and reflects different when it passes through, bends different and everything when it passes through the water, for example. So it behaves differently in the different elements. And so there's something about your power, and that's the biggest surprise that you're reconnecting with here from your ancient ancestors, because they're well and alive. Maybe they are alive if we just thinking in an open-minded way a little bit. Perhaps you do have ancestors somehow from another planet, realm, I don't know. Please forgive me. Just stay with me, be open-minded, and take it how it resonates with you. Maybe they are alive and well, thinking of the fact of channeling the idea of alive and well, and perhaps they're still there. All I'm trying to say is that this power will be used in your realm, the Earth, Pentacles, and will behave maybe a little bit differently in your realm, in your world, than in theirs, King of Swords. So, yeah. It's different, but it has the same potency. You see what I mean? We'll find what this power is for you and perhaps it's going to be, everyone listening will understand it in their world, but there's something about that in this pile. Very interesting. The air, huh? Well, let me look at your cards and try to see. See, you are going to start getting, with the Ace of Wands, you're in touch with this power, and by time the sun, by time it will reach its ultimate power with the King of Wands. So you want to play with it a little bit, master being comfortable with you. I feel like the more you're comfortable with this energy, the more you're going to master this energy, master this power, I mean. You want to learn to vibrate love. Why am I saying that? Because I've just heard a podcast. Picking up on the knowledge that I heard from this podcast, I will show you what I'm seeing here. There was Deepak Chopra, who was talking about one of the documentaries that they've done in proving that telepathy exists. And he has shot this documentary with a little boy who's able to telepathically read all of his mother's thoughts, everything. So to implement this experiment, they put this little boy in another room, and they gave the mother like some form of sophisticated book to read. As she read this book, the little boy, who was like 5 or 6 as far as I remember, started typing, and he was like very slow because he knew how to type, but it was very slow. Started typing what the mother was reading, and she was supposed to read it silently, like she wasn't supposed to read it out loud. So she would just look at the words and read it internally, and the little boy started picking up on the words that his mom was thinking about and typing it in, and it was like really crazy. So Deepak Chopra started talking to this little boy and asked him, how do you do that? And the boy thought it was absolutely normal and that it made absolute sense. He said, I love my mother so much that I'm able to connect to what she, like I think about her so much, I love her so much, and this is like pure unconditional love, that I'm able to connect to her thoughts. I'm able to feel what she's thinking. And it just made absolute sense to this little boy. It just made, he was speaking to Deepak Chopra like it made absolute sense. So seeing the Lover's card here, it looks like you gain connection to that power through unconditional love. Master being comfortable with you. It's kind of like unconditional love towards yourself, but also others. And it's a choice with the Lover's card. When you choose to vibrate in this energy, you instantly connect with it, feel awash with joy and emotions. You see, you vibrate high. And so I would advise you guys, you know better, of course, with your power, but I would advise you to meditate more. Start getting more in touch with what consciousness is. What is consciousness? Because this is your reading. I hope this is not boring for you, but this is your power. Start connecting with your consciousness. Consciousness is just the state of being, without any thoughts, without anything, just sitting down and thinking of nothing. That is the consciousness. The more you're connected to that, the more you'll be able to connect your powers. And it's interesting, in another podcast, I don't know what's up. I just saw these 2 podcasts this week. Maybe the universe was preparing me for your reading. In another podcast, there was this, it might be like, it's even the podcaster says, you know, take everything being said here with a grain of salt. It's someone who had an encounter with another like alien being, and this is the conversation that he had with this being. Again, like the podcaster says, take it with a grain of salt. But what this alien was telling this guy was that we are so focused on one way of looking at things only through the eyes of science, which is okay, of course, but we're like blocking everything out. And there is more to that. And like the field of consciousness and all of that, something like that. I will tell you in a moment what this podcast is, in case you're really interested in watching it, since this is your pile. But just let me finish this thought. The alien was saying, you want to get into a state of consciousness and you want to expand this consciousness. And when you expand this consciousness, it starts moving the material. So if you want to move something, you expand this consciousness and then you turn it somehow into material and you push it. That's the simplest way this alien was describing this, to be able to do what we call the phenomena of miracles, or I forgot the expression that the alien was using. What we call the metaphysical, something like that. So anyways, the podcast or the video name is, let me check. Okay, so the channel name is Area 52 and the episode name is Alien Being Explains UFO Propulsion and Telepathy. Okay, so that is it's a very interesting one, and again, take it with a grain of salt, but that's what I'm trying to say, that when you connect with that high frequency of joy, in your case, it allows you to do something in the material realm. And that's how your internal power will shift things. The way it's going to shift things, first of all, for you, like you're finding your inner harmony somehow, and that's allowing to completely shake things up in your outside world. And that is a surprise. I mean, doing a reading about that, I never thought that this is what was going to show up. But you might be thinking that this is a small thing, maybe, or maybe you totally understand that this is not a small thing, but you will see now how this is going to make such a huge difference in your life. So first of all, with the Five of Swords, one of the powerful things about this hidden power, remember when we were just talking about the plants, you might be thinking, what is it going to just make me move things around? You might be thinking of it as a small thing. Oh, my blessing is like a vibration. You might think this is like a small thing. It's not tangible, right? But just like the plants, there's a whole world down there, and it is connecting you to something so big. It's like plugging in to a specific energy that allows you to do the things that you are looking for in your life. So this is such a big deal. First of all, what this is doing with the Five of Swords is that it's allowing you to heal and win over the very things that are causing pain and are weakening you in your life. And that's the first powerful thing, that you're going to be able to heal these things. The sun will always shine after the fact. So all the areas in your life where you feel like it needs the sun, it needs positivity to enter into, you're not able to handle, you're struggling with, first of all, that's the first thing it's going to do. When the sun comes in, it heals first, and then you start experiencing the positivity. So why walk around with amazing things in your life when you're still limbing, So first thing it's going to do is bring light to the shadow. Bring light to the darkness and the dark areas in your life. And you are going to start experiencing that the things that you were struggling with are starting to work beautifully in your life. They're just starting to work with harmony. They're starting to flow. You're able to overcome them easily. You're not struggling with them anymore. You're able to overcome them. And it becomes easy to do that. It's like, oh my God, it's so funny. I've struggled with these things for years and years, maybe for some of you, even all of your life. And suddenly, it just works out easily, softly, as if it wasn't a struggle in the first place, And that's why it's so important for you guys to start believing that you have this energy. I'm sure I'm saying this wrong, because looking at the branch here, you must have already picked up on something lately. Picked up on some power lately. Maybe lately for you is last week, last month, last year. For some of you in the last part of your life, last 5 years, who knows? But you started picking up on some energy. You started finding a small form of power, a very potent one, although small, but it hasn't reached its full potential yet. So your ancestors are showing you, particularly your ancestors are showing you in this reading today, that yes, there's a nod to this power that you're feeling. And they are showing you that if you continue to mimic or resemble this power in whatever you've done to ignite it, you will continue to have it grow for you. So what did you do recently is the question I would ask you, that gave you some form of power. Recently, again, yesterday, last week, last year, last 5 years, last 10 years. When did this awakening energy enter your life, I would say? Maybe this is when you started finding tarot and spirituality, perhaps. Maybe this is when you started having something in your life awaken, or power awaken. You just recently maybe overcome something. And they want you to start mimicking and doing the very thing that you've done, because it is that very thing that is allowing you to see your power, connect to your power. So there's something like your physical human body kind of like interferes with this beam of power, deflects it, weakens it. It's like you've always had this power, your family's always had this power, but it's you receive it in a little way. And you've done something recently, kind of like you're the first one to do it in a very long time, that stopped this weakening of power that you have and your family has, and it started reaching you in a potent way. And so in this way, your ancestors are saying, oh, you know the pyramid in physics, the glass pyramid that shows you the different layers of light frequency, right? Light frequency, the rainbow of light. It's kind of like that. There's like this strong power has been dispersed, and you've done something recently to remove that pyramid out of the way and have that light with potency. At least you moved it a little bit, so some of the light is strong. And so if you keep doing that, you remove that pyramid that disperses this light, metaphorically speaking, of course, and you get to experience it in its potency. This is going to shake your world, find your truth, and it's going to allow you to, with the bear, find your power that's been hibernating. It can never be taken from you. It's just been hibernating because it's been dispersing. And when you connect to this power, you'll be able to see what lies beneath what we see as human beings as the only truth, and see the real truth, that how you can have more tools than what you already have now to be able to pick up and connect to your ancestors in a different way, to connect to your power and do magical things in your life. And it starts first and foremost by the light going, ooh, finally we're able to get into these dark places without interruption, healing it instantly. So the first thing that you're going to feel as you connect, plug in to that power, is you're going to start feeling that all of the different areas where you really struggled, you're like, oh my God, I never thought it was that easy to overcome this. It's like working out easily. You know, for example, you had to deal, let's say, with a bully. The easiest way we can explain this. You had to like deal with a bully every single day, and you're like, oh, I can't deal with this bully anymore. You've tried everything to try to ward off this bully, and they're like there. So suddenly and easily, you're calm and you call them off. What they're saying doesn't affect you, and you move on with their life, and they start feeling powerless instantly. And so you deal with that situation. That bully can't come near you because you're not affected anymore. You found smart ways to like take your life away from them. Let's say you moved out and you're not affected by them. And suddenly that very bully in an instant starts feeling absolutely powerless. You started taking different decisions. You felt enlightened, or suddenly you're like, why am I doing this? I can do this and I can do that. And you're not affected by them. And suddenly this bully's like, they absolutely have no power over you, and you both can see it now. So that's just a quick example. Another one could be maybe a health issue. You had to struggle with a health issue, let's say for years and years, and suddenly you just avoid this one thing. You hear about it, you learn from a nutritionist, for example, a doctor tells you about it, and you take that out of the diet, and suddenly everything is great. And so you're like, my God, I mean, if I knew it was this one thing, it's not that important to me anyways, in how I enjoy my food. So let me just take that part out, replace it with that, and it's all good. So that's what I mean by the light suddenly entering all of these different areas of your life. If you're struggling finding a job, you start thinking, you know what, I'm really good at that area, and I see these companies struggling with that area. So you get into the interview with such confidence because you really know how to do it, and you are given a good job, and you succeed in that job, and you start becoming one of the most key people, important people in that job, and maybe you even do your own thing. So I can go on and on with examples, but all I'm saying is that the light will start to come into that dark areas in your life, and is going to start healing it. And your reading really holds true to the title that I got this morning. The biggest blessing that is coming soon, and what surprise does the universe have for you? This reading did not disappoint. Like, what? And then what's going to start happening with the Four of Cups? Four of Cups is a card of surprises. Things are going to start showing up in your life that you're not expecting. Do you know how the Four of Cups looks like? The traditional tarot card of someone who's receiving from the heavens something that they're not expecting. Let me show you this card. There we go. So you can see there's someone sitting, feeling like they're not satisfied. They got some things, it's good, but they're looking for something. They don't know how to get it. And suddenly, from the heavens, something appears, changes everything. This is why the Four of Cups is a surprise card. So it looks like your ancestors are showing, as you match this energy, you start getting things into your life. As you vibrate in that, with high vibration, high vibrational frequencies like love, gratitude. These are powerful emotions, like being in staying in this conscious state, in the I am state, in this conscious state, vibrating high frequencies. And we were just talking about frequency here, so frequency matters. You will start being surprised at how life gives you back, especially in your realm, how it behaves differently in your realm. In the earth realm, Queen of Pentacles is the queen, as you know, that lives the realm of her dreams. In your realm, you start receiving material things that mean a lot to you in your life, in your world. That's not to say with the King of Swords that it's not going to affect you mentally as well, and other areas, other elements. The air element, which is the thoughts, for example, specifically in the thoughts, is you're going to have clearer thoughts. You're going to have a clearer understanding of your life, how to get things, how things work. You're just going to be thinking in a clearer way. Your crown chakra specifically will be powerful, and you'll be able to channel things in a clearer way. You'll be able to pick up on ideas, brilliant ideas of things that you're meant to do. And that is going to help you specifically in your spiritual path, because you are a shaker. You're going to start being a shaker. You're going to start bringing ultimate truth into your life and other people's life that cannot be that cannot be disregarded, that is going to be so clear that it can't be unbelieved. Do you know what I mean? Like such clear thoughts, such clear concepts, such clear truths that it cannot be, I'm looking for that word, it cannot be denied. So you're a truth bringer of some form, an enlightener. And that's a very important thing in your path. And you'll find that you'll have the clarity to channel these ideas, to channel these thoughts. And that's part of your great power. You already are, I'm sure, a very intelligent person with the King of Swords, someone who was somehow, in you and your family, in touch with these powers, perhaps a little bit. But now you're really getting so in tune with these powers. Things will just start happening in your life, whether being fixed or the things that you're looking for coming easily. And you know, speaking of the pentacles, we were just talking about the material things. The Four of Cups in Thoth is a card of luxury. So I'm really feeling that you're going to start living a very luxurious life. You're gonna have the best of what Earth has to follow. But here's the thing, you must connect to this power. And if you think about it, the Four of Cups is in Thoth, the third decan of Cancer in the moon. So Cancer is in its home. And so you must connect to your home in order to live a luxury life in this home. Don't forget you're a soul, and that's what you are first. So connect your soul, vibrate higher, understand what lies beneath that world, the real world, what lies beneath. And don't believe too much in just one realm. Because that realm, although it looks so real, may turn out to be not so real after all. So you want to consider other ways of being and other ways of doing things, and what other powers are truly more potent than what you only think is there. So you'll be living a life full of surprises. Don't dwell, feel the swell. So sorry to interrupt, but there's something about the high vibration again. Don't get so lost in this unreal world. Feel the swell, feel the gratitude, feel the happiness, vibrate higher. That's where things start to work out for you. And that's where you particularly, my dear pile number one, start getting attuned to your real power. And don't forget, chameleon, with the mimicry, start doing the very thing that you initially did to gain access to this power. And perhaps you've done what's explained here. Or maybe you've done something different. Maybe you blocked out, or not blocked out, like you start shifting your focus from the negative emotions to the more empowering ones, perhaps. But all I can tell you is that you've picked up on that energy. You're the air now. And the more you follow the advice of your guidance from your ancestors, the more it's going to become stronger. And these are the benefits of when you start connecting with that energy. You'll start dealing with life and from a more empowered place. And things will just start to happen in your life, whether it's to heal the things that you're worried about or not able to deal with, or the things that you're looking for. You'll be living in luxury in the world that you're dreaming of, whatever luxury means for you. And most importantly, your thoughts will align with the real truth, because you have a role in this pile of shaking things up. That power has awoken, finally, and you are on the path of enlightenment. So, my dear pile number one, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number one, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at your biggest blessing that is coming soon. And what surprise does the universe have for you? Now, when it comes to your biggest blessing, maybe the biggest blessing is something that you already have in your life, like your health, your children, your loved ones, your parents, anything like that. But what I mean is your biggest blessing after that, like from now onwards until the end of your life. So that's what I mean by that. Let's explore through your reading today. And if you're interested in knowing the names of any of the decks that I use, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Malakite. Your significator card is the storytelling card with the keyword connection. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Pisces, Libra, Cancer, as well as Virgo. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their piles as well. Okay, so let's get straight into it and take a look at your cards. So you've got the Virgo card with the perfectionist. The other keywords here are analytical, planning, perfection, hard work, helpful, detail-oriented, reliable, confident, skeptical, overly critical, and the ruler of the 6th house. You've got the Enneagram lie. It's in the category of sin. And the other keywords are sneakiness, deception, trickery, falsehood, simulation, appearance. And it's very interesting. It's quite different. Then the Virgo card, which is all about perfection, doing the right thing, right? Reliable, being reliable. So we'll see how this fits into your reading, but it's a straight up dichotomy, this juxtaposition that the cards are choosing to show us, the story the cards wants to show us. Perhaps you will find out that something that has been passed down to you or told to you by someone you thought was reliable is turning out to be a great lie. And that is the biggest blessing, because obviously that's the changing the scope of everything that you're seeing or doing maybe. We'll find out. You've got the puppeteer. Do you see there's something about hands and like a hand controlling others? So it's like someone, explanations, apologies, someone told a lie here, maybe to you or perhaps to many others, either specifically to you or many others, to control something. And it looks like you're waking up from this lie. Right. So you've got communication. Whoa. Connection, storytelling, communication. What a synchronicity. It's really funny. I was just telling pile number 1 how the plants communicate. Like they have this whole communication system underground. Their whole life that we know nothing about. One tree sends nutrients and communicates and assists another tree even at the very end of the forest. So if you want, in that way, if you are drawn to pile number 1, I do see them connected in that synchronicity. And so, yeah, I highly recommend you check it out if you're, of course, drawn to it. All right, let's check out your tarot cards, because I'm still not able to yet pick up on this huge blessing. But of course, a wake up is definitely a huge blessing. But let's see. So you've got the 8 of Swords, which is a card of feeling stuck, entrapped, especially in your mind, and maybe in believing too much in something. You've got the 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords shows that this block or this belief was so toxic that it was with the 9 of Swords creating trouble, especially mentally, to you all of your life in believing this lie. Perhaps it prevented you from living life. It prevented you from getting something you always wanted. Yeah, somehow it was hurting you with a 9 of Swords, greatly hurting you, causing great stress, unnecessary stress. You've got the Emperor. You've got the 4 of Cups. You've got the Hanged Man. Sorry, got the Hanged Man. Four of Cups, Hanged Man. I don't know, these two cards together have something about waiting. I don't know what it is yet. Right? You've got the Chariot and then movement, like a long wait. And finally, there is movement. Although the movement is super slow in this specific chariot because of the snails, but there is movement here. Okay, so once you learn about this with the book here, there's an initial stage of you're still stuck, but it's like the good type of waiting because now you are equipped with knowledge, now you understand what's going on, and you're feeling good. That's the first time you're waiting, but you feel good because you know it's only a matter of time before you're free from something. And then we see with the Chariot, you're slowly but surely finally moving away from this thing. You're like, oh my God, it's moving. Maybe it's not as fast as I want, but we're finally moving out of this disaster. So I'm just trying to think, what lie and what control here? Maybe we need more cards if I'm not seeing it. Emperor, someone who's powerful, and do you see maybe was bringing people against each other? That could be one explanation. I'll try to find out. There's a mask here. False identity, lies, someone showing up as something when they're not. Something obviously that was communicated and passed down. I need to think. And you so believed in this lie as if you were holding on to something so true. You know, the way, for example, things like religion. I'm not talking about religion. I'm just saying you perhaps believed in this lie so much as if it was a religion, as if it was like ultimate truth or something. I have a strong feeling that this passing on here is not referring to the reason you believe in something so much, because here the child fell. No, I need to clarify this. Yeah, we just need to clarify this. So is the storytelling card talking about how a lie was passed down to you, or was it the initial truth before the lie? 3 cards. This way I'm able to connect your reading. So, 10 of Pentacles, and you've got a priest here. You've got the 4 of Pentacles. Traditions. Here, traditions. 4 of Pentacles. The 5 of Wands. Again, the priests. Wow. It is a dogma, the Hierophant, a dogma. Tradition. So yes, it is indeed. A lie has been passed down to you through tradition. With the marriage here, from family members to another, or just, the society. And we'll find out why this is your biggest blessing that's coming soon and what surprises the universe sending you through this. But just trying to put it together for you. Virgo, can sometimes be like in their journey of perfectionism, they can be too detail oriented that sometimes in the shadow they can't see the truth. They say the devil's in the detail. Sometimes when you zoom in so much and overanalyze something, you're not able to see the bigger picture. And so there's something about an element of truth to a belief that you had, but it was so zoomed in that it prevents society from seeing the bigger picture, the whole truth, not just a piece of it. And sometimes when you zoom in to something so much, you lose the capability of playing around with ideas. Like if you look at the number 6 so long, you tend to believe that there's no way it's another number. That's the curve of the 6 and that's the circle of the 6. But what if it was a 9? Or any other idea? It just it becomes a dogma that it prevents you from thinking of any other truths that connect with it. So basically, when it comes to your blessing, it looks like you are breaking free completely from a social dogma that has been ingrained in people's minds, how can I say this, to control them from one generation to the next one. And this has been done, like it has been done once and then been passed on lovingly, obviously, from one generation to the other. In each generation thinking they're doing something good for their children by passing these ideas on. Society is holding on to these ideas so much and thinking it's the best. But the thing is here, it's putting everyone in scarce mentality. This specific belief that your reading is referring to is putting everyone in scarce mentality. Everyone has a mask on, an ego mask on. Everyone is wearing this identity and fighting with each other. Each one feels like resources are scarce, even though the universe is limitless. There's more than that goes around for everyone. Unlimited resources for everyone. So that limited way would say, yeah, well, how will it go around for everyone? And so one must see the whole truth and able to understand other different types of concepts. In any case, you're breaking out of a truth soon. And maybe this is what my limited brain is feeling like this is what you're waking up from. Maybe you are waking up from something way bigger. Who knows? But all I can tell you is that you're waking up from a specific dogma. Very soon, you're going to wake up and you're going to think, oh my God, this was so limiting. There is so much more that I could do. And it looks like the minute you wake up from this dogma, you'll feel there's an awakening here. I don't know, it looks like through information, you're going to see the truth. Unexpectedly, it's going to reach you. And although it's not going to work right away, taking you out of this entrapment right away, maybe because the entrapment here is an entrapment in society, entrapment in the economy, entrapment in movement in general. It's not that easy to just take action, but you're aware now with the hangman, you're enlightened, and you know that it's a matter of time where you're waiting because you can foresee that it's going to start moving. Maybe because of your awakening, you're like, oh, I'm going to now quietly change officially and legally and everything, change this paper and do this. I'm going to quietly do that. Like a wild example, for example, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go and buy my own little farm, like also a small land, or I'm going to live in nature. I'm going to give up my phone. I'm going to give up this. I know that what I'm saying now is far stretched. It doesn't have to be this extreme at all, but I'm just giving you an example to show you or translate the energy that I'm seeing for you guys. You're waking up from something and you're like, wait. I don't have to do things this way. So going back to the example, this person just leaves everything. You're like, if you're going to limit me with this system, you know what? I'm just going to leave this whole system and I'm going to be a free person. And I'm going to learn how to hunt or not hunt or whatever. I'm going to learn how to plant my food. I'm going to learn how to protect myself. I'm going to this, I'm going to that. And I'm going to leave these luxuries. So in that way, that translation of energy, and perhaps not in this extreme way at all, you're waking up from a lie that seems to have been passed on to you, to all of society. And you're like, you know what? Like I heard from an expert or someone just introduced to you through knowledge another way of doing something entirely different. It could be in your job, for example. You're like, oh my God, I don't have to make ends meet in this way. I can do it in that way. Maybe not everybody knows about this, but I'm going to do it like that. I'm going to do this. You're waking up from something here is all I can tell you. And I'll try to get you as much details as I can in today's reading, but you're definitely waking up from a lie that has been perfected by time. It has kept everyone fighting unnecessarily. Nobody had to fight for this. It kept everyone being afraid of trying to get so little when there's so much out there. That type of lie. You're finally, for once, moving forward for the rest of your life. You're gonna drop this fear with the 9 of Swords. It might be crazy for everyone to watch you drop this. You know, to them, it would be akin to you dropping your own child, which of course you're not going to do that. That's just the analogy in the card. Is to society what you're about to drop because of the awakening that you got, unexpected awakening that you're getting from the universe, and how it's surprising you with some knowledge that you would never know about, would be for society as you drop that lie. Are you crazy? How can you do that? But you've awoken to the fact that this is no good. There is somebody or some power that's using this lie to control others, whether it's an official lie or commercial lie, or even like a dogmatic lie, like, for example, man has to control women. Parents have to beat their children. Whatever this is, I'm just giving examples to try to show you what I mean by dogmatic powers. You know, of course. So you're detaching yourself from this power, and communication is your blessing. The universe has its way in showing you this information that will forever free you. And I see you taking major steps, although albeit slowly, towards this freedom. Away from this lie intelligently and slowly. Easy and slow does it. So what does easy and slow do for you? Are you trying to be free from something, but at the same time maybe avoid harm? So what does this freedom look like? What are you being free and moving towards is what I'm trying to find out next for you in this reading. So you're liberating yourself from this lie with the sneakiness, in equal sneakiness, like moving slowly out of it. So first of all, why are you moving slowly out of it? Before we look at the freedom. Hierophant, because there are rules, there are structures, there are huge consequences, obviously, and there's dogma, there's societal dogma, maybe there are rules, there are people in charge who are not just going to let you easily follow that. Understood. Okay, so what are you moving freely towards? Seriously? Okay, Hierophant. Knight of Cups. Your own beliefs. The Wheel of Fortune. Oh, you're moving towards using this dogma. You're going to, I get it. You're going to start using this very dogma to your favor to change your fate. Okay, very smart. Right. You're going to use that very system to liberate yourself, free yourself, and do what you desire. You're just using it now with the Wheel of Fortune from another perspective, from another way, now that you understand what's going on. You know, it kind of reminds me, for example, of lawyers. Do you know how some lawyers, and I'm not saying that this is the right thing to do ever, but do you know how some lawyers understand the laws so much that they know the loopholes and they can start using it to their favor? You see? And I'm not saying you're a lawyer, of course, putting that aside, or I don't know how this is going to fall in your life, but reading the energy of your cards, I do see that you're like, okay, that's the Wheel of Fortune, that's the wheel, it's moving in this way, right? So since it's moving like that, you're going to start using that same wheel, that same tool, just to make it work like this for you. So you're using the same tools, the same things set to quietly, calmly. That's what the snails here give me the impression of. Slowly, without noise. It's not horses going true, 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 true. It's like slowly sneakiness, slowly using that very system to change your fortune, to move to your favor. Very interesting. Maybe you're going to realize that the more people have, some people have information on how to use this system, like it has loopholes to benefit some, and you're like, you learn about these loopholes and you use it to your favor or something. I don't know. Of course, this has nothing to do, by the way, with laws or anything. I don't advise anyone to do anything like that ever. Always do the right thing. But in reading the energy, I'm seeing something about beliefs and using systems in the right way for you. You've got the Four of Swords. Can you see your card? Yes, Four of Swords. You can see with the Four of Swords that the biggest blessing here is forever peace with the Four of Swords. When you do that in this intelligent way, you forever reach peace of mind and peace. You rest. You finally rest. You take yourself out of this hamstring with the Wheel of Fortune. Reminds me of hamstring. Seeing the Four of Swords, I feel like you're liberated from the hamstring, liberated from being stuck in a specific area, in a super zoomed in area. You take yourself out of it and you find rest. Perhaps with the Four of Swords here, and the Chariot as we see, and the Hierophant, I have this impression that you're not the pile who's going to be talking much about this. I could be wrong. I'll check it now. But you seem to be someone who found forever peace, forever rest from something that everybody could be suffering from. And I get this intuitive sense that you're not going to tell anyone about it. I could be completely wrong. At the end of the day, you've got communication here. So let me check. I could be totally off here. Just my impression with the Four of Swords. Are you going to be telling others about it? Two of Pentacles. You're going to be very careful. Yes. Will you be telling someone or some people? Yes. But you're going to be doing it in a balanced way. I would say you're going to be very discerning. Who with, like, look at the flower. It looks like a trumpet here, right? and is not looking on this side. So all I'm trying to say is that you're going to be very discerning, selective in the type of people that you share this information with, and what people may be relaying this information and can put you in trouble because of the snail's antenna. It makes me think of transition. Maybe they will somehow transition, like the transition of waves. So some people may harm you in knowing, and so these are the people who you are choosing not to talk to. And if you find that people are willing to listen, open-minded, because the turtle is outside of the shell, so has open-minded, like came out to listen, so has the open-mindedness to listen, are coming out of their shells to listen. So you're, in that case, you will be open to tell them about what you've heard. So yeah, you're going to be discerning with the type of people, obviously, that you share this information with. But your biggest blessing is forever resting with the Four of Swords, forever going after what you really want, having a taste of what you want, enjoying what you want, feeling fortunate in life. It's gonna feel, do you see with the cards here? I think that you're reading is like is acting like really fortune telling you what's about to happen. It's a big thing in your life, because you're going to experience a lot of fortune that you won't believe to what type of magnitude and what type of rest you're going to feel. And like I sensed, I think you're going to be very hush-hush about it. Maybe some people you're going to talk about, if they're open to listen, if they're willing, like they show an open-mindedness, come out of their closed-mindedness with the shell, they're open to listen to you, I think then you're going to share this information with. But otherwise, you're just going to peacefully experience this huge blessing. So I just want to know, what are you doing here? What are you waiting for? And then moving slowly, and how are you using this dogma to your favor? I think that would be so cool to find out. Let's see what's happening there. So can we get more information about this process, please, and how pile number 2 is using this dogma-like ideas to their favor, and what process are they going through? So you've got the Knight of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups. Do you see the moving away is a slow process? We've got the Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck. We've got the Eight of Cups, which is the card of moving away from something. So first and foremost, I keep seeing for you that you're going to move slowly out of this. For example, one clear example for me, I don't know what it is that you're going to go through, but here we see the Knight of Pentacles saving one penny after the next, one penny after the next. Soon, these small amounts start becoming huge amounts. That's just an example. And it's like, it's slow moving, because maybe in that case, I understand that although you understand how to liberate yourself, you may not yet have all of the needed resources, papers, whatever it is, to say goodbye. So there is a slow moving period of you, I don't know, saving, of you making that transition, of you adjusting papers, maybe something like that. So you're happy here, although you're stuck. This is the first time in your life where you're like, I'm still stuck, but I'm absolutely free. It may not look like it now, but I am. It's that moment of liberation when you start taking action. You know it's only a matter of time. You've got this clear plan. You know what to do. And you just know that it's going to take time for things to come together. Okay, so that's the process you're going through. Let's continue with the process. Right, you've got the Seven of Cups, and I keep getting a taste of something for you. And as you're going through this process, you might not be there yet. It's slow moving, right? But every slow movement that you move towards this freedom, you get a taste of that with the Seven of Cups, of that which you find like a wild dream. Like, can this happen for me one day? Like, you know it's going to happen for you one day, but you just can't believe that this is going to happen for you. Like, oh my God. I mean, I can see myself going there, but I cannot believe how it's going to be like to be there. And so the more, let's say, you save, or the more you take action towards this, the more you're somehow, one way or the other, you start getting a taste of this. You're like, oh my God, that's how it feels like. Ooh. So yeah, you start getting a taste here and a taste there of this wild dream as you're moving towards it. You've got the Moon card. You're going to be doing some things that may be crazy for you to hear in this reading. So you'll find out in due time. Obviously, with the Moon card, you'll find yourself doing things like that will stun you. But it's wise with the owl. It's absolutely wise, but can only be understood when you're finally or totally have broken out of this dogma yourself, these lies yourself. So with the Moon card, you'll be able to, you'll see yourself doing things that you never thought you would be doing. The last two cards here. And what else are you going to be doing? The King of Cups, just like ice, just like snow. It may not look like water now. In the right environment, it would be flowing and beautiful, but you're not in that environment yet. Yet, through this process, you can see that you're going to be so happy with the King of Cups. Although going through life during that transitional time in the same way that you always have, but because you're working on something, because you know you're holding that water as you're moving towards something, you're like, here, there's the water. I'm holding it. Maybe it doesn't look to me or to anyone yet like it's water, but in the right environment, this water egg is going to be water. So in that way, I see a mix of you collecting resources, having a taste here and there, doing things you never thought you would do, but ultimately feeling very happy, very satisfied, and knowing it's only a matter of time. There's a point in time where you will have the resources, but you got to go to the right environment to make use of it, or you're going to start something to make use of it. And again, there's this point where you've got everything together, but you're waiting. It's a waiting chair, it rocks back and forth. You're waiting, it looks to me like, for the right environment, for the right temperature, for something. You're waiting for something to make it work. You're like, or waiting for the right time. Waiting for the right time because you're moving slowly, right? Waiting for the right time to apply it. Eight of Wands, it starts moving very quickly for you. Symphony here. It's like everything starts working harmoniously from this point onwards. You've got all your ducks in a row. Everything is on point. It's waiting for the curtains to open. Once it does, this symphony plays. Everything works in harmony together, and you're finally liberated forevermore from the prison that this dogma puts you in. Wow. Well, I would love to know, how is your life going to be like? This is the biggest blessing, right? Oh my God, what a surprise. So, ooh, look at that with the King of Pentacles. Really, it looks to me like you are going to live a blessed life. King of Pentacles, you're going to live a life full of luxury and abundance, restfulness, state of restfulness, being able to do whatever you want to do. Yeah, living the life. You're really going to feel like you're living the life. There is a parrot right next to this King of Pentacles, and it perhaps means that when you reach this level of comfort and wealth, whatever wealth means to you here, comfort, wealth, manifestation, power with the King of Pentacles, then with the parrot, I presume you're going to start talking about it. Even the powerful, because this looks like a tiger here, another tiger, even the powerful or the powerful things will be serving you. It's kind of like, yeah, because you're using something powerful to your favor. And yeah, that you can't miss the parrot here. I feel like you're going to repeat that experience just in due time. Will you? Yes or no? Yeah. You will have enough power to fight back, it looks to me. You won't be afraid to fight back because you will be super powerful yourself. And perhaps you now have a different story to pass on to the coming generations and to other people. And my dear pile number 2, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 2, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye! Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Today, we're taking a look at your biggest blessing that is coming soon. What surprise does the universe have for you? By the way, your biggest blessing may not be in comparison to the biggest blessing that you already have in your life. This is a disclaimer that I gave all of the piles. Maybe your biggest blessing is someone that you have in your life, or your health, or something amazing that you already have. I'm talking, oh, this one's moving, so I'm going to take it. I'm talking about from now onwards until the rest of your life. What is that biggest blessing that is coming soon? All right, let's see what surprise you have. These are the decks that I'll be using for you in your readings, in your reading today. If you're interested in knowing the names of any of them, you'll find that I always list them below for you guys. But very quickly, let me introduce your pile to you. Your crystal is the beautiful Lapis Lazuli. Your significator card is the Star Nations with the keyword Ancestors. And if you've picked your pile using your zodiac signs, then in that case, the signs for this pile are Aquarius, Scorpio, Aries, as well as Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. If these are not your signs, please don't worry about it. It's just another way for others to pick their pals as well. Right, so let's get straight into it. You've got the 8th house with the keyword transformation. Oh, this is looking really... I'm getting a sense of calmness, but a lot of spiritual activity going on within that calmness, some magic happening, just a sense that I get right away. But anyways, the keywords on your card are birth, death, rebirth, sex, mystery, investments, afterlife, shared resources, inheritance, secrets, joint ventures, as well as legacy. Right. So you've got the keyword, the Enneagram freedom. It's under the category of essence. Essence is the growth level. And the keywords here are liberated artistic creativity, independence, free will, autonomy, emancipation, open self-expression. Okay. Freedom. There you have an aspect with the freedom of pile number 2 and with the ancestors from pile number 1. I would say if you're drawn to this pile, to these 2 piles, or either of them, I highly recommend them for you. Right, so you've got the astronomer. Ooh, discovery as well as augury. There's something here about... if you look in your chart, you'll find that there's a major change, major transition in a planet, in a house or something. I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not really able to explain it well, but there's a major shift going on at the moment. You know, when experts look at astrology, experts look at our charts, they're like, when you are, I don't know, 33 years old, there's a major shift going on there. I don't know, Pluto or Jupiter is moving in this house. Obviously, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just trying to say that they show us how these different planets and aspects thus change. And so they'll tell you when you're 33, when you're 45, when you are 56, in that particular year, there's something major going on here, and perhaps they can give you more information. So I will read your pile, but I highly recommend for you in this pile to, if you are like well versed in astrology, to look at your chart. If you're not well versed, maybe you can ask an expert who can help you specifically with this. But if you want to know the time of when this biggest blessing and surprise from the universe is going to happen, that the pile will be discussing today, you will be able to, as your reading is showing you, find out with an astronomer. An astrologer. Right. You've got abundance. Oh my God, I love this for you. Perhaps you want to look at Jupiter or something. I could have been right about Jupiter. As I know, Jupiter doesn't move like slow moving, but maybe when it comes to the houses it's different. I don't know. I really don't know. So you've got the sailor. And the keywords here are new influences as well as wanderlust. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at your tarot cards. You've got the Four of Cups. Something is dropping out of your life in a surprising way, causing this massive transformation. Okay. Something is dropping. You've got the Knight of Cups, but that empty space is instantly filled with something that you will love. You will be offered with the Knight of Cups. Instantly, it's like you lose something, you get something right away to fill it up that you will love. Right? Wow, the High Priestess. This is fated. It's a prediction here for sure. It's fated to happen for this pile. This drop and receiving. It's almost like a swap, or just something drops, something comes in. Look at all of this energy. There's like a lot of spiritual energy here for sure. It's giving me this feeling that no force can stop this. It's fated to happen. It's one of these things that will happen and almost no one has a hand over it or something like that. You've got the Two of Pentacles. Maybe nobody can affect it because it's your personal power with freedom. You've got the King of Cups, which looks like that cup right there. You've got Temperance. It's like different powers are at play, and there is no way, because the different powers are at play or the different laws are at play, there's no way that this is not going to happen. This thing that your reading is pointing towards, that's why nobody can affect this in any way. It's like meant to happen and there's no way to avoid it. And you've got the Ace of Cups. For you, you're really going to love this. It's going to be a great gift in your life. So, what is this biggest blessing that is coming soon? It's in the form of abundance for sure. Abundance for you. It's a new influence. It's a wanderlust. It's something that you're moving towards when you see this in your chart. It is fated for this massive transformation to happen in your life. It's going to be a new influence or a new type of energy that you haven't experienced, at least with this type of potency before. You're really going to love it. It's the Knight of Cups. The Knights experience that element to its fullest, maybe not in a balanced way at all. And sometimes not sometimes. When there is an extreme of something and it lacks balance, it's not always a good thing. But the Knights are the ones that experience that element to the fullest. It's like the Knight of Wands, they have a desire. Nothing is standing in their way. All they know is that they're going to get their desire. Knight of Cups, they're pursuing their heart. Whether it's right or wrong, they're just going after their hearts. So what I'm trying to say is that you are going to get something and experience it to its fullest. You're going to have it with great potency. It's fated for you to have this abundance. The way this abundance is going to happen is in the weirdest way. Do you see the two forces here? And because two big forces are at play, and I don't know, as above, so below, because there are two forces at play, and perhaps you'll understand, the astrologer could explain to you exactly in your chart what two forces are at play. On Earth, or in your world, I mean, you will experience these two forces at the same time, where at one moment of time, one force drops from your life and one comes in instead. And there is no void, because that void is filled right away. One thing drops, one thing is instantly offered to you that you absolutely love. That force, these forces with the Two of Pentacles are both at play right now, by the way, but will have an effect on your life when it's time. In fact, with the light and shadow here and the Two of Pentacles of these two forces, I am kind of seeing, like, if you look in your chart, these two are in their shadow at the moment. You know how when we say Mercury retrograde, for example, or Venus, whatever, retrograde, is starting on, I don't know, let's say the 13th of March, for example. But its shadow is starting from the 5th of March, for example. So during that shadow time, you might not be experiencing the energy of Mercury retrograde in its full potency, but you will start to feel its energy. And they say, be careful, that's the shadow time. While it may not be Mercury retrograde yet, during that shadow time, you will experience this energy here and there, and you want to be careful. So in that way, you are now in that shadow time of, like, all I can say, if I'm not saying it astrologically in the correct terms, all I can say is that these two planets or these two forces are very near to the placement that your reading is talking about, very close. And so likewise, in your life at the moment, you will start noticing the drop of some form of energy leading up to the major drop that's coming out of your life. And you will start to experience a taste of the energy of something that your heart desires, right? And so let me give you an example. Let's say you are in, not you, somebody is in a really bad relationship, let's say romantic relationship. They are even in an abusive relationship. So obviously here, this person, for one reason or the other, wants to get out of this relationship but can't, but they wish for this relationship to be over, and they're at the same time dreaming about a beautiful romantic relationship. So what do we mean by shadow in this particular example? Let's say this person starts to hear about major changes and challenges that are happening in their abuser person's life, and at the same time they start to have more communication with people who they are attracted to. They may not end up with them, but they're starting to feel a different type of energy that they haven't maybe felt in a long time. They're starting to meet different people, and they're starting to experience other people who treat them in a gentle way, in a nice way, people who maybe have a crush on them or something like that. And in that way, they're starting to experience that type of energy. And on the other side, they're watching their abuser go through major challenges, and while they're still in the relationship, everything is still the same. In that way, the shadow of that energy, they're starting to experience these two elements. While they're not changing anything yet, but they are there. And so as time goes by, this person sees these things start to actually happen. This abuser, one way or the other, becomes weaker. They're able to fight them, and they're able, or not, the circumstances happen, they're able to fight them, they're able to liberate themselves out of this person's life. They're finally done. And they're also now something is starting to happen with someone that they really like, who may have even been helping them in this situation. So that's just an example. Please don't take my examples like exactly to fit your life, but I'm just trying to translate the energy that I'm seeing. So something here is absolutely fated at a certain point of your life, and it seems like it has to do with abundance in particular. You are trying to liberate yourself when it comes to abundance. You're trying to be free. Here it says liberated artistic creativity. So maybe a quick example that comes to mind is perhaps you want to be free from doing a job that you don't like, and some awakening of creativity is happening within you. You're like, I can do this. I feel this. I want to do that. You're starting to watch yourself pursue different things that you're passionate about. That's the shadow of that major thing. That's just an example, of course. It doesn't have to be about work or relationships. It could be anything that you are currently feeling a little bit of dark energy towards, or heavy energy towards. I am seeing that there is something about your ancestors helping you with Star Nation. How are your ancestors helping you? Actually, I have an idea. Why don't we look at this one? Moved as well as this one. Why don't we look at the guidebook? Maybe we get an idea what your ancestors are helping you with. So let's open up to page 56. It says, in our traditional stories, it is said that we come from the stars, and we shall return to them. When our time on this planet is done, we travel to the star nations and become part of the beauty of the cosmos. Every night, our relatives and ancestors who have passed on watch down over us, their sparkle bringing light through the darkness. Look at that. This card brings a message from a loved one who has passed. Oh, very specific. Okay, thank you. A relative who meant so much to you. They remind you that while they are no longer present in human form, their spirit lives on in so many ways. See their face in your living relatives and hear the stories they used to tell, now told by the younger generations. Watch for their presence in your dreams and listen to their messages in your time of solitude. Your loved ones from the star nations are close to you, supporting, guiding, and reconnecting with you. The memories and bonds you shared can never be broken. Healing affirmation. I am loved by my ancestors and the stars. Our bond is never forgotten. This is so sweet. It looks like you have a dear person, for most of you, who passed on to the other side. If you don't have, it could be an ancestor who really loves you and is looking out for you, may even have been looking out for you ever since you were born. In either case, you've got someone on the other side that's showing you that there's an end to specific type of misery that you're going through. They're telling you that forces are changing and there's no way but change. If you're thinking, will this ever end? Will I get what I want? Will the misery end? They're telling you there is no, like, you don't have to take anybody's word for it. Look at your own chart. The forces are at play. In fact, it's so close to you that shadow time, it's so close to being removed. And also that this difficulty is so close to being removed. One cup's falling, another's appearing. And that thing that you're desiring is so close to you. Be a bit patient, because that's what you require when you're fishing, right? So be a bit patient. King of Cups, vibrate with love. Be balanced emotionally. Don't be so attached to it, because that will, it makes things move slower towards you. But be patient and calm. It's only a matter of time that this is coming towards you. It's sailing. It's moving towards you. There is no way, the High Priestess here is showing, there's no way that this change, transformation is not reaching you. It's not happening. There's no way that this change is not happening. That what you want shall come and what you don't want shall be dropped. Just be patient is really the message that I'm seeing here. With the Ace of Cups, your ancestor is saying, you're really going to love this. It's going to be cozy. It's going to be just like a nice cup of coffee in the morning. It's going to feel so good. You're going to love and enjoy this very much. It's going to feel so fulfilling to the soul, is what I'm seeing. So, speaking of these two elements, the thing that's dropping and this thing that you're receiving, which is abundance here, let's get more information on them, because we got these two cards. So, the thing that's dropping, 10 of Pentacles, and the thing that you're receiving, 8 of Cups. Isn't it funny? I'm seeing a lot of guidance here. You know how there's the yin and yang in everything. It's so funny. I'm seeing your guidance here is to balance every energy. What you want to drop, you want to balance it with emotions of feeling blessed nonetheless, feeling the happiest or enjoying the best that it can give you with the 10 of Pentacles, despite how difficult it is. That's the sort of balance your ancestor is showing you here. For example, let's say you are stuck with a job that you really don't like, and you want to balance that, but by not hating it, by not exuding hate towards it every day and feeling like you don't, what's the word called? Hate and dislike and frustration and all of that. Boredom. With the 10 of Pentacles, you want to balance that right now. This is your guidance to moving towards this, the faster. Like, imagine yourself walking on a thin, I don't want to say thread, line. The fastest way to move through this line is to go through it with balance. We know that, right? And so similarly, the fastest way you can go through this transformation, it is through the energy of balance. So with that thing that you want to drop, You want to learn to enjoy the best that it has to give you. Let's say you have this, for example, office job that you hate. Try as much as you can to enjoy the different elements that it has to offer you, to enjoy the time you're doing this office job. What things can you do on your office desk, or things that you can enjoy? I don't know, like writing with a pen that you like. That's like the simplest example I can think of that would make it a bit better for you, that would shift your mindset. Are there mantras that you can say in the morning, things that you can focus on your mind instead of focusing on the things that make you feel heavy? You can focus on more empowering thoughts. Maybe you can have empowering thoughts right in front of your desk. I'm just trying to think of examples to follow what your guidance is saying. With the 10 of Pentacles, you want to do your best and maybe even more to make use of the situation that you're in and enjoy it the best. That's when you'll go through this transformation process in its best form, in the fastest way. And also, when it comes to that thing that you want with the 8 of Cups, you want to balance it out by not being so attached to it. So you want to train your mind to think, I can walk away from this anytime. Like I'm not, this thing is not going to attach me. Like I can love this thing for myself all that I want, but I'm okay without it. If it comes, I'll enjoy it. If it's not, I'll be okay. So you want to have that balance on the other side as well. So here, your guidance is from your ancestors, seeing things, lending you an eye from where they are, showing you how these forces are at play and how you want to balance things out to make use of these two forces at the same time. You want to balance it out here as well, because you have a hand in how you receive this transformation. And so they are saying, or this person is saying, make sure that you apply these two advice so that you are here balanced as you receive this energy, because it's not what you receive, how you receive it absolutely matters. So you want to keep this in mind, the balance. Okay, so now let's take a look as you gain freedom to do what you want in your life. Let's take a look at what your life is going to look like. What is this abundance? What does this abundance look like? Because it is your biggest blessing that is coming. So you've got the Hanged One, and you see it's kind of like you're in this cocoon time, this chrysalis. You are in this cocoon time, the shadow time. Things are already changing and transforming, which makes me feel, yeah, exactly what we've discussed here. You're feeling both energies now as you're watching this reading. You've already had a good taste somehow of this drop, somehow, or you're getting an idea or a taste or something. Yeah, you've already started feeling, I would say, an energy of it here or there. And with what you want to receive, you're starting to have a taste of it here and there, either through hope or through things that are happening, something like that, for sure. Anyways, we're going to your abundance. Your reading's showing you're already starting to get a taste of that. Things are changing all around you. So your reading is saying, with the Hanged One here, that a lot of changes are already happening in your life. Oh, so the shadow period here is more profound in this pile than I thought. You might have recently had some things dissolve, some new things start to happen in your life. Yeah. Maybe it doesn't have a shape yet. Maybe you're still in the dark, right? But the light's about to show itself very soon. Yeah, guys, check your charts. So, ooh, look at that. You've got the Teacher. You're going to start having experience with something very soon because it's in conjunction to the High Priestess. The Hierophant and the High Priestess are both knowledgeable, but this gives me the impression that you'll be so knowledgeable about it, the ins and its outs, you see? The ins and outs of something. You're going to be an expert here. You've got the Lover's card. The Nine of Wands. Massive changes. You know, these remind me of how powers topple in the split of a second. Like a king could rule for many, many years, and their families and like their ancestry line could be ruling for many, 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 many years. And suddenly it topples by what they called commoners, right? Oh, commoners, we do this, we do that. And so something small can very quickly turn into something huge that topples even the most powerful. And in that way, I am seeing that with the Lover's card, especially that it's a card of choice, as these energies get closer and closer to you, I feel like you're going to choose to use a different key. You're going to choose to do something different, something in your psyche, something in your being is going to feel like you need to make that change. And it's just going to be easy to make that change for you in your life. Because at that time, when you will be making that major choice or major change, you will be equipped, by many things in your environment changing so drastically, and you will also be equipped with a lot of knowledge, deeper than what many people have. Perhaps you'll be so lucky to get key information about things that you didn't know about before, and things that you do know about, both, as well as your environment changing, will prompt you to make a massive choice. You're going to go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make that move. I'm going to commit to this. Or something like that. Teacher commitment. Or I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to take that risk or something. And initially, it might seem like a crazy idea, but you'll find yourself with so much force that you at the same time will know that you can do it. You just haven't done it before. But at the same time, you see your power and how big it is. So another part of you is absolutely confident that it can. And just like a topple up, you're going to make that powerful move only to see with your own eyes that you are much powerful than what you thought. And you will be able to topple that very energy that had this extreme power over your life that you felt helpless towards, that you felt like you just had to follow, succumb to, because that's what you thought needed to be done. But you're making a bold move. The Nine of Wands is summoning up your courage, feeling bold, feeling confident. And despite your fears, that's the Nine of Wands, you move towards it anyways. So by the power of, I just heard by the power vested in me. So I don't know what this means in your reading, but I'll get back to that channeled message in a second. By the power of the knowledge and the ins and outs that you're about to find out as these things get closer to you, and because of the change of energy, you will be the one to make that decision, to topple that energy. So it's kind of like, if we take the symbolism in your cards, let's say you're sitting on the beach, and a ship keeps moving towards you that you can't see now, but then it reaches you, right? So you look at that ship and you go, I have an idea. Why don't I bake a ship cake? I think this would be a brilliant idea for this company that is all about ships or something. So you bake that cake, you show it to them, they love it, and they market your cake all over their social media because they're like, oh, look at this cake. It's something that will make their audience interact with it. And so with that, in that way, you go viral as an amazing, a master cake maker. And so using that example, that's what I mean by your environment changing. Something is nearing, something is coming closer to you, and suddenly you change things up in your life. And because of this grand moment of change, of facing your fears like a warrior, going, that's going down and that's going up, or I'm gonna charge towards this, although I'm afraid, I'm gonna charge towards it, I'm gonna get it for myself. And the moment you get this, maybe it's the other way around. Maybe it's because you get something that you want, that you have the power to drop what you don't want. So it's either or in this pile. But there is a moment of great transformation that is fated for you. It's written for you. These forces are at play, and these are the consequences of these forces at play. And you are meant to enjoy this type of abundance in your life. So going back, what is this abundance? We didn't finish it. So part of your abundance, by the way, is watching yourself do something in this great magnitude. Like if a country in ancient times was able to topple their king, for example, one of the blessings is that in itself. Of course, the freedom that they gained and equality for everyone, freedom of speech, all of that are priceless. But this moment is so big that it becomes like the revolution day of many countries, right? So in that way, that also is a form of a great blessing for you. Do you see the alignment? I know it's the moon card, but do you see there's something aligning in your chart? And when that moment happens, many things that you're not imagining with the moon card, many things that you're not even foreseeing. There are some things that you're imagining now with the Hierophant that you wish when it comes to abundance, but there's more that you're not seeing. Is going to start happening in your life. There's more than what you're envisioning, imagining, wanting. There's more that comes with that energy. And you've got the 9 of Swords. In that moment, the first thing that happens, so we've got an order. It's not getting something to drop something. It's the other way around. You charging towards, my apologies. You charging towards what you're afraid of, the drop, charging towards what you're afraid of, 9 of Swords, dropping, which will let you drop what you don't want. Yes, I was right, my apologies. Going after what you want with courage will allow you to see miracles. And it starts with dropping what you don't want out of your life. What you're afraid of now will be dropped. And you're changing keys, you're changing roles. You're changing the way you do things. And so your abundance has to do with your whole life changing. That type of abundance is one that changes your whole life. It changes your awareness and your knowledge about how things work. It allows you to be and choose, to have the power to choose to be with what you love, because that's the idea behind the Lover's card, to choose what you want. Your abundance will allow you to overcome the very thing that was weakening you. It will allow you to see all of the things you didn't know you could see. It will allow you to feel powerful, like you can overcome everything. It will be a moment of change in your history. And your abundance will allow you to drop your fears. You won't be afraid anymore. Like the quickest example here is if you are afraid of when will money come, or how you're going to pay your debts, or how you're going to pay the next rent, or if you're always worried about if anything health matter comes or something. Here, in this case, for example, it talks about having so much abundance and wealth that you never have to worry about paying something again, for example. So that's just an example, but there's an element of these fears being dropped, and you never have to worry about them again. You feel a great sense of liberation. But to get there, don't forget how you receive it matters the most. And at the moment, the best way you can receive this energy and work with this energy that is fated is to enjoy the things, to enjoy your life despite of what could be bothering you at the moment, and to not be attached to the things that you love. While it's okay to want them and to welcome them into your life, to receive them, it's okay to enjoy them, but you must have this balance of saying, I'd be okay with them and I'd be okay without them. I'll be good. I'll always figure out a way. And yeah, my dear pile number 3, this is exactly what I see in your reading. I truly hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And my dear pile number 3, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye!